This is the story of the summer I almost died. I'll explain. My best friend in junior high and elementary school had a summer home in New Hampshire. And every summer he would come with me to scout camp, and then the week immediately following we would go to his summer home for a week. I was invited up there. He stayed there all summer. Now, New Hampshire is known as the Granite State, so everyone has big boulders on their property along this private pond. And they had sort of a beach up above and then some stairs that went down to a dock. And tied to that dock was their motorboat. And a little ways off the end of the dock was a raft out in the middle of the water. And we spent most of our time during that summer, well, inside playing computer games or out on this raft playing King of the Raft, rocking it back and forth to see who could create the most waves, just sunbathing, jumping in, diving in. Really, we had kind of a quintessential childhood. But I started out by saying this was the story of the summer that I almost died. And I'm serious. Let me explain. Native to New Hampshire is a species of spider that has yet to be documented by scientists. This spider liked to build its web on the raft. So when we saw the spider on the raft, we would obviously, we're 12 or 13 years old, we'd splash water onto the raft to try to get the spider off. Well, one particular day it was being really patient with the splashing. I mean, we were launching tidal waves of water at this thing, and it wouldn't budge. It was kind of hiding out by a little post on the side of the raft. We didn't know exactly what was going on, and we were down in the water, so we didn't have a good look at the spider, because we didn't want to climb up there with it and risk it running towards us and biting us or whatever, because we had no idea what kind of spider this was, despite having looked it up. So we're in the water, and picture, if you will, that the raft is only a little bit higher than our heads as it's floating there. We're splashing water, trying to get this spider off. And the spider is just kind of recoiling a little bit back against the post instead of moving like it sometimes did. Or, we were teenage boys, we were just trying to get it to go into the water and maybe drown and leave us alone the rest of the summer. Well, suddenly, and I don't remember if it was my friend or if it was me, but one of us had a wave or a splash of water that was just right. And that large spider that was hiding in the corner exploded into thousands and thousands of tiny little spiders. And they ran all over the dock, all over the raft. And not only that, like some scene out of a horror movie, they started streaming across the water towards us. You see, they were so small, these tiny baby spiders that had exploded from their mother's back, that they were able to stay on the top of the water without breaking the surface tension and sinking. So suddenly my friend and I were fearful for our lives, and we started frantically screaming and swimming as fast as we could to get to the side of the water and climb out onto the dock and just sprint up the stairs. I'm stumbling over my words even now just thinking about it. Thousands, maybe tens of thousands of tiny little baby spiders covering the water, covering the raft. We made it back. But to this day, I have a little bit of arachnophobia, and every time I see a spider, I check to see if there are babies on its back before I do anything else. Because that summer, I almost died. If that's not enough to give you arachnophobia, I don't know what is. And I can tell you the rest of that summer, I don't recall going back on that raft. We spent most of our time inside playing video games. Can you blame us? Spiders, man. Freaking spiders. If you like this story, you'll like the other stories, you'll like some other content on this site, on this YouTube channel. I encourage you to subscribe and let me know what you think. Have you ever had a time where you had an experience that developed a phobia in you didn't know you had? This was mine. This was mine. If you ever find yourself in New Hampshire and you see a spider on a raft, leave it alone.